Welcome to your September energy update. We have two powerful eclipses, a second new moon in Virgo. At the time of this recording, we did just have a very powerful new moon in Virgo, and I am getting so many reports of the way people are feeling this physically, the way people are feeling this in their home environments, things breaking down, things having to be repaired, things being shifted. And so we're going to talk about the big things that you need to know about September to help you navigate this energy. Again, it's all about having that heads up, okay? This is not about, bracing yourself for anything. This is about understanding that this is a collective energy that affects everybody around you. And if you're surrounded by people who aren't as aware and aren't as open to the energetic influence, then they may be reacting to this in a way that affects you as well. So you're here because you are open, you have intuitive abilities, and I'm here to share with you the guidance I'm getting. If you're new here, you're very, very welcome. I work with the highest vibrational beings, the angels, spirit guides, animals, my spiritual team, and I also empower you to work with your spiritual team. So we'll be going through all 12 signs, but I want to just address some of the messages that were coming through for me as I was preparing for this live. So the way I normally do this is I'll pull some cards for each of the 12 signs, but it's so important that you understand the collective messages coming through first. I will put timestamps in if you want to come back to each of these signs, but I also have a link below here on my YouTube channel to a video that's called Know Your Signs. It's a free tutorial and a free downloadable PDF that allows you to understand why it's important to listen to all 12 signs, not just your sun, moon, and rising. Now, it is also important to understand where you have different planets. Even if you're not an astrologer, this free PDF that's free to download at the link below this video will get you an ability to pull your birth chart for free, and then write down where you have everything and understand it. So when I get to a sign that you don't have planets in or you don't really pay much attention to, but something resonates, it'll help you understand it because I explain all 12 of the houses in astrology. And I just wanted to give you that heads up because a lot of this comes through very different avenues. Now, if you are just tuning in, I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. Let me know how the energy is hitting you. Hello, April. Hello, AC. Good to see you all there. And all of you over on TikTok, hello to you as well. I am so honored to be sharing these messages with you because I've been feeling the shift coming with these eclipses for about the last 2 weeks. And one of the number one themes that we are being asked to address in the month of September is what area of your life do you feel boredom, complacency, ambivalent about? These are things that we need to pay attention to. So I always am asked to guide you to think about these 3 areas of your life: your health and fitness, your career and finance. If you're retired, that's your legacy. And then, of course, your relationships. Relationships are involved in all of those categories, but not just romantic. Your boss, your relationship with your colleagues, your boss, your parents, your children, your siblings, everybody around you, even your neighbors. I've seen so many people having different interactions with their neighbors lately, people they don't normally interact with, or they're having to have conversations, not always going the most smoothly. I've seen people having to deal with sudden breakdowns in machinery or things around them. And the key to keep in mind with this is these are being brought to our attention for a reason so that we are more prepared down the road. So if you find you're having to deal with something, an unexpected expense, an unexpected change, this is happening for you. And I know that's hard to feel in the moment. So the key thing to do in those situations is grab that journal, start working on your gratitude. What are the things in your life that you can be grateful for right now? One of my all-time pocket affirmations, those of you who followed me for a long time, it is I am in divine flow. So if you want to write that in the comment section below to set that intention for September, we will do more pocket affirmations as we go. But I do think it's really important to have those affirmations close by so that you can grab them easily. Hello, Emmy. Good to see you there. Hey, Mary. Hey, Chelsea. Infinitely blessed. Great to see you all there. Good to see everybody here in the chat on TikTok as well. Yeah, I just want us to be reminded that as these eclipses approach, things are going to be brought to our attention. And one of the questions that you're being asked is, where do I feel ambivalent? Where do I feel bored, not excited to do something? There is an opportunity there to change that. And that's one of the things these eclipses are bringing in for. So the very first eclipse is coming up very soon. It's September 7th. It is a total lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Pisces and 22 minutes. I bring that up because 22 is a very volatile number. For those of you who study numerology, it's a master number. And then September 21st, we have a partial solar eclipse that's happening at 29 degrees of Virgo in 5 minutes. Now, that's our second full new moon in Virgo. So if you were paying attention, I did a live last week on the new moon we had over the weekend, which also carried the energy of Sun square Uranus. So you probably did see some breakdowns. You probably did see some shifts. Now, sometimes it's that the famous saying that astrologers apply to Uranus is break down to break through. A lot of times you don't see the breakthrough part right away. And so that's why we use our affirmations. That's why we're tuning in to our spiritual team on a regular basis. Now, I would love to hear from everybody if you would be open to another journaling challenge with me. A lot of you were here with me last year where I did some journaling challenges. Hey, Deborah, good to see you. We did it. Let's see. I did a walking in nature challenge, if you remember that, in October. And then in November, I did a 30-day journaling challenge where you create evidence that your angels are with you, that your spiritual team is with you. You track the synchronicities you're getting, the angel numbers, everything. And I feel like with what's happening in September, we might really be set up for success to get some new downloads in October, and you're going to want to track them. You're not going to want to miss the opportunity to write them down. And a lot of times it just means creating a habit, okay? And that habit can be hard to create, but when you do it for every day for a while, even if it's just 1 minute a day, it can make such a difference. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in doing, because the second main theme, okay, the first theme for September I was getting is look around to see where you feel bored or ambivalent or complacent, like you feel kind of stuck. You know, a lot of times people don't realize that boredom is a symptom of needing to be more challenged. And a lot of times people are like, more challenged? I feel like I'm constantly being challenged. Well, you got to define the differences in the challenge. If it's friction, if it's things that's making the things you want to do harder, that's different than being bored because you're not being challenged enough, either intellectually, spiritually, physically, whatever that is for you. And I do find that we often don't give ourselves enough credit for the way that we might want to take something to the next level. So the second main theme for September for this overall energy update is be prepared for some big time downloads coming through in October. So basically, we want to ride this wave. We want to observe what's happening. We want to watch the things that are being eclipsed from our lives, or take, this is the eclipse energy is sudden changes. It's a lot of times very faded. And it's a sense of things being out of our control. Things there's nothing you can do about it. A colleague decides to quit their job, move across the country, and the next thing you know, you're taking on a new responsibility, but down the road, it leads to your promotion, and you might not be able to see that right away. Or you might find that you're suddenly having to move for some kind of reason, and when you get there, you meet your new best friend or your new soulmate, right? So these are the things that we want to hold space for happening in October. So that's the mindset you're meant to have is, as we go through this eclipse season in September, holding space. This is happening for me. I may not see the results until October or even after. A lot of times these cycles, it takes some time because you have to wait for everything to line up in place. But the second main thing is be prepared for those downloads. And I cannot stress enough how valuable it is, how much your future self will thank you if you write down these downloads that you're getting, starting today, starting from the moment that you are hearing these messages. anything that resonates with you as we go through all 12 signs, I really want to encourage you to write it down. My angel numbers have been off the chart for me lately. License plates, clocks, receipt numbers. I mean, just so many repetitive numbers lately. Write those down. What were you thinking about right before that? What were you thinking about after that? I have actually a free ebook if you want to grab it on my website, devindoer.com, that you can sign up for my free newsletter and get it. And it gives you 5 questions to ask when you think you've seen a sign. That means repeating numbers, feathers, animals outside, whatever. These things are coming in for you now, but you may not get the full message, the full download about where you're being guided until October. Although the big things are coming in September too. So I don't want you to think, oh, well, now I have to just hold my breath until October. That's not the case at all. We do want to put energy into action. We're still in that new moon energy of last Wednesday. So use that new moon energy. Just expect to change your plans, right? Plan to change your plans because something surprising may come through that you're like, okay, well, I was going to fly and stay there for 3 days. Now I'm going to drive and I'm going to stop and see a friend of mine on the way that I haven't seen in years. And then when you do that change, you all of a sudden meet somebody else new. So there's things that are coming in for us like that we can't, it's almost like it would be spoiling the surprise, really and truly. It would be like spoiling the surprise if we knew too much about where these things are going. So that's why I want you to try to remain as much in the present as you can, but give your future self that gift of hindsight by writing things down as they happen. And then that way you can come back and look at them in October and have that aha moment. And that's what's so powerful is the gift of hindsight, right? Because you can connect the dots. You can see the way things were, these little golden nuggets were being placed in front of you, guiding you along your journey. Okay, so those were the first 2 themes. Like I said, looking for places of boredom or apathy in those main 3 areas of your life. And the second one is be prepared for some big downloads coming through. You want to start paying attention right now to the synchronicities, okay? And then the third one, the big one that's coming through, is being prepared for your natural intuitive abilities to go through the roof. So here's the thing. You're here because you're a light worker. Something guided you in your spiritual team, in your higher self, to where you're here watching this video now. You're part of my community. You're part of the group of people who watch these things, who pay attention to their abilities. Things are going to a higher level after these eclipses. So again, there's a little bit of agility in there that we're having to learn. So this is what I want you to think of it as. Think of it as when you train for an obstacle course or some kind of marathon you're doing. You have to do things to challenge yourself along the way so that when you get to the real course, the real event, you're ready. You've been there. You've practiced it. You've done it. So you're going to be asked through the month of September to use your intuition in new ways so that when we get to October and these downloads are coming through, you're so much more practiced at checking in with your intuition. It's a muscle. It's a response that you don't have to think about too much, okay? And I've even had some recent experiences, even with this being something that I do on a regular basis, where I almost ignored my intuition on something. I almost did. Thankfully, I did listen to it. One was having to do with one of my sick kiddos this weekend. One was having to do with something in my house that was breaking. But I heard it. I listened to it. I was in motion, and I thought, I just ignored that. I caught myself ignoring it. I backed up and I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to handle this right now. I'm going to see where this leads me. Okay. So I just want to encourage you to start thinking about ways that you can deal with any sudden unexpected things as a fun challenge, right? Like people sit down to do crossword puzzles because it's a fun challenge, right? If you're somebody who enjoys gaming or anything like that, it's a fun challenge. So I'm going to encourage you to try to pin fun things along with the challenging things, right? For example, you've got to start commuting to a new job and there's a lot of traffic on the way. Can you do a bunch of research on podcasts and audiobooks that you want to listen to, have a whole playlist ready to go before you hit the road? Then you get to have fun to and from that location. And this could be whatever this is for you. I'm just giving you a really easy example. I want that to be kind of one of the tools you're using as you go through this. Then, of course, the other thing that you're going to want to do is keep your pocket affirmations close to you. If you're new, pocket affirmations are short and easy to remember affirmations. So one of the ones is, let's see, I face challenges with grace. If you want to write that in the comment section below, they're asking us to use that pocket affirmation. I face challenges with growth. You can write that in the comment section below. With grace. I said that wrong. I said growth. Well, because the challenges make us grow. That's why I was saying it. I face challenges with grace. Let's put that in there. And then, of course, a really, really basic one that I use a lot. I don't often share it on here because I'm trying to customize it to the energy, is I am present. I am present, right? So let's use that. Okay. We've got I am in divine flow. I face challenges with grace, and I am present. And then I want to encourage you to think of yourself as this athlete, this spiritual athlete who is learning new ways to maneuver the energy. When you deal with somebody on the road or in line at the store or on the phone at work who is agitated, who is grumpy, who just is seemingly trying to upset you, be that athlete who goes higher. And then what do you also do? You're raising their vibration. And you can also try to find ways to do that. One of the things that I'll do whenever I feel like I'm encountering a lot of people in a row who are not in the greatest mood, I will ask the angels to give me a sign if I'm meant to speak to somebody or compliment somebody. And often what will happen is I will end up in line with somebody or the checkout person or somebody. I'll cross their path and I'll have an opportunity to compliment them. And if you've ever done that intentionally, to a total stranger, most of the time those people sit up a little taller, they straighten up, they say thank you, and you feel better and they feel better. It's a win-win most of the time. Now, that's not always the case, and that's why I want you to see this as building your endurance and to really focus on not taking things personally, because everybody is going through this energy. You're aware of it. You're paying attention. You're looking for the signs and synchronicities. You're using your pocket affirmations. You're writing down your dreams. You're writing down the messages you're getting from your spiritual team. So you are here to help those around you. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to be around them. You just have to work on you, and that automatically expands your energy. All right. So I would definitely keep that in mind as well. Hey, Noelle, good to see you there. Got Emmy here too. And Sally, thank you for writing that in the chat below. So we're going to get to all 12 signs here, but I want to encourage you to also remember to pay attention to your dreams, okay? Dreams are bringing us a lot of messages right now. I got a really great tip from, who was it that I heard this tip from? But I'll share it with you, and if I can think of where I heard it. I think it was on a podcast that I listened to, so I can't think of the name. But I always tell people, keep your journal close by, write your dreams down as soon as you wake up. Also, before you go to bed, if you don't always remember your dreams or you want to get messages through your dreams, maybe you do remember your dreams, but you want to have more messages, do affirmations before you go to bed. I easily remember my dreams. I am open to divine guidance in my dreams, those kinds of things. But then the other thing that I thought was a really fun tip is you can also say, don't say, I don't remember my dreams. When you wake up in the morning in your journal, write, I don't remember my dreams yet, but I'm open to remembering them now or later today. And that way you're still setting that intention that I'm going to write my dreams down, but you don't have to remember every single detail. So I'm not going to go into that too much because I do a whole nother video on that and a whole course on remembering your dreams and dream interpretation. So let's go ahead and jump into our signs here for this energy. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of those big themes, because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll pop in and just go straight into the readings for all 12 signs. But I've noticed lately that if you skip right to your signs, you might actually miss an opportunity to understand the meaning if you didn't understand the overall energy, because it's layer upon layer upon layer. That's why I encourage you to listen to all 12 signs so that you can layer them all together. And you may know your birth chart and say, I don't have any planets in Scorpio, but then when you listen to Scorpio, you get angel bumps. Well, what's the reason for that? Write it down, okay? Don't overinterpret it right away. Keep listening, stay open to the guidance, but layer that with the other messages that resonate with you. And that's the big thing to remember too, is even if you don't have any major things going on in your birth chart, there could be some transits really affecting you. And that's why I just feel like it's better to just stay open to whatever guidance is in your highest interest. Leave behind what doesn't resonate. That was for somebody else. But if you're getting tingles or angel bumps, or you just feel like it's for you, I encourage you to claim it below, write it, this part was for me, this sign was for me, affirm it. That's another way to affirm it, but also make sure you're writing it down and tracking it and listening to it so you can have hindsight. Your future gift, your future self is thanking you for doing that. I cannot tell you how many times I've gone back and read a journal from 2 years ago, 5 years ago, even 5 days ago, and had a huge epiphany just from rereading what I wrote. And at the time, I didn't even really know what it meant. I had an inkling. I knew it felt like something. So I just trusted it and wrote it down. So I really encourage you to do that. All right, let's go into all 12 signs here. I'm going to move my mouse over so that I've got, one of those laptops that's doing the continuity thing, and I can't, it's not letting me grab my mouse there. There we go. There we go. All right, we're going to get started now with Aries. Sorry, guys, just making sure I've got, yeah. Okay. There we go, Aries. So we are going to be using the Guardian Angel Tarot, the Angel Tarot, same author, Radley Valentine, different decks. And then this fairy deck that is also Radley Valentine. In case you can't tell, I really like his decks. I have a lot of decks I like, but I really, really love his. Okay, Aries, okay? We're getting started with Aries for September energy. The first card we have for you, Transformation card. This is the Tower card in tarot. I've been feeling this energy a lot. I feel like this is part of the eclipse energy in a way. Eclipses are bringing that transformation, whether you've asked for it or not, but it's meant to reveal things to you. So let's see what else is coming up for you. We have the 3 of Water card here, Aries. Aries, it says a celebration, a wedding, graduation, the need to have more fun. That's really what I'm feeling for Aries right now. And then finally, we have the 8 of Spring card. It says stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, and sudden changes. Yeah, sudden changes again. So here's what I'm seeing for you, Aries. I feel like there's something that's going to shift for you, Aries, that is going to cause you to have more time, and more, you're going to be able to fill that time with doing things that you enjoy more. Okay. And that's the one thing I want you to keep in mind, everybody listening here. We want to be looking for the things that get us out of the bed in the morning, that make us excited. You know, that's why I said in the beginning, one of our 3 themes is, where do you feel bored? Where do you feel apathetic, not motivated? Maybe you're not being challenged enough. Maybe there's an easier way to do it. Well, we're all getting that energy, but Aries, I feel like you have too much going on, too much on your plate. And it's almost like you need to invite somebody to support you and help you. That's what I'm feeling. This 3 of Water, it's almost like somebody's going to come in and be like, hey, let me take that bag for you. Let me carry that for you. Let me handle this for you. And you're going to go, oh, okay, that actually is kind of nice to have somebody helping me out. Maybe you're hiring somebody, Aries, to help you with things so that you can focus more on the things you want to do. And that's the key there, right? Make time in your schedule to have fun. Transform your schedule, Aries. And that's what I'm seeing actually for all 12 signs. That's why I encourage you to listen to all 12 signs. In this season of Virgo leading into Libra, Virgo is very much about your daily routine, the details. Where are you spending too much time in your regular daily schedule doing things that make you feel boredom, apathetic, they don't feel good? Where are you doing that? And where can you transform your schedule to have more fun? And I mean, the really obvious one is, if you're spending too much time on social media, could you cut that back and use that time for a walk or to go join a sports team that in the, like a intramural sports team where you could play and have fun? These are things you're being asked to do in September. And you can even include right now, we're still in August. It's August 27th at the time of this recording. So I would say right now at the time you're hearing this message, where in your schedule could you change things so that you can do things that you have more fun? And again, it's like, well, I can't take that yoga class because I have to drop my kids off at school. Maybe your spouse or a parent or a neighbor could carpool with you and take turns, and you can make time for the things you want to do. All right, so that's going to be really important for the Aries, is keep in mind that this change is coming, and it's coming so that you can take some of the burdens off your own shoulders and find ways to have more fun. All right, let me know what that is for you, Aries. I love seeing how everyone's making changes, and hopefully all of us are finding ways to have more fun. All right, Taurus, what's coming up for you guys for the September energy? Oh my gosh. We have the Awakening card here. This is the Hangman in the tarot deck, but it's this huge change in perspective that's coming for you, Tauruses. You're going to be looking at something completely differently through this eclipses. And I mean, basically, by the time we get to the end of these eclipses, by the time we get to October, things are going to look really different, Taurus, and that's a positive thing. These are positive changes coming in for you. But we also have this 5 of Water card here, which again is a card of boredom. It's a card of crying over spilled milk, trying to change the past when you know you can't. You can't do anything about the things that have happened. You can't change things from your past, but you can take a new perspective on the way things happened and use it to push you forward. So let's see what the next card is coming up for the Tauruses. We have the Princess of Autumn. Princess of Autumn. I don't use this deck a lot. Let's see. It says studious, responsible, cheerful, mischievous. Happy news about your career. This is really good energy here. Again, I've been seeing this for a lot of Tauruses. You're changing jobs or you're moving in a new direction with your career. You're doing something different with your work, and it's good news. Like, good news is coming in that you've been waiting for, and it's going to be requiring you to use your skills in a new way, which is going to be exciting. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but this change in perspective you're having is actually going to show you where you can really shine, where you can really go to a new level with your work that maybe you hadn't even thought of. That's what I'm really seeing here, is there's something where you didn't even realize you could have been doing something differently that would have been a little more fun, maybe a little easier way to do it, had a little bit more flow to it, not so much friction. But now you're going, aha. It's like I feel this big aha moment coming in for Tauruses. And when you have that epiphany through this new perspective, through this change, if now that I think about it, if I'd stayed in that relationship, I would have never ended up moving here and getting this dream job, or vice versa, right? If I hadn't finally decided to quit my job and move to my dream location, I wouldn't have met my new partner. These things are coming up for Tauruses in a big way, but you may not see it yet. Like, what I'm getting is you almost have an idea of where things are going to be changing, but you can't really see how it's going to look yet. You won't really know how it's going to look until October. So you just have to trust that the change is going to be better, and constantly focusing on the positive. Like I was saying at the beginning, we're going to be asked to write down the things we are grateful for whenever we get in that stuck energy. If you feel like things time and time again are coming up for you that are challenging, this is where we're going to be asked to go to gratitude. I just had something happen a couple weeks ago with a family member that was scary. Everybody was okay, but it was, the way it happened was expensive. And I just kept thinking, I'm just so grateful everybody's okay. I'm so grateful that, we are able to handle this together. So there are ways to shift out of that energy versus focusing on, the spilled milk that you can't unspill, right? All right. I love that energy there, Tauruses. How's everybody doing in the chat? Is this resonating? Hey, Linda, good to see you. All right, Geminis, I've been getting so many messages coming up for you lately, just on my walks and things. We have the Three of Fire coming in for you. It says goals, expansion, vision. Yes, I love this. Yeah, something you have been working so hard on these things for work, for your family, for your lifestyle. It's like what I see for a lot of Geminis is that you've really wanted to feel secure in certain areas of your life. For some of you, it's been with your career, but also for some of you, it's been both career and home and family. And you've had these visions and these goals and you're working towards it. So they're basically saying you're headed in that direction. You are headed towards the things that you're visualizing for yourself. So keep going. The next card you have is the Eight of Water card. Again, another card of where you're moving on from something, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. This card is one of those cards where we will tell ourselves we want something because we're not really realizing where we're not feeling challenged, if that makes sense. Like I always think of the example I've shared here on the channel before where there was a point in time where I thought I wanted to go to grad school. But when I got down to the nitty-gritty of what I was really after, I was looking for a change. I wanted to move out of the home I was in, move into a location where I was in a different community. And it was kind of one of those things where I said, oh, I'm never moving. I'm never selling this house. This is my place that I will always be. And then when I got down, if I got really honest with myself and I was like, well, if I went to grad school, I'd have to move. Then it's like, well, what am I really after? Do I really want to go to grad school or do I really want to just move? Once I got clear on the move, all of a sudden I was like, what am I talking about? I want to go here. I want to focus on my small business consulting. I want to keep going with the business I'm growing. So that's what I'm getting for the Geminis with that. Oh, and I didn't pull your third card here, Geminis. Six of Spring. So yeah, public recognition. And it's almost like you have to recognize the things that you are bringing to the table here. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like is going on is this is recognition from your outer self where it's going, oh, I just realized what I really want is to be able to work from home. I'm not necessarily looking to get this huge promotion at work. I'm looking to have more freedom in my daily routine. So these are things I want all Geminis to be thinking about. What is the secondary gain to things? And maybe that's really your primary gain. And that's the thing I want you to, have you heard of secondary gains? Let me know in the comments. Secondary gains are basically things that happen. They're usually associated with something kind of negative happening to you that brings in something that is kind of a relief. So when I was taking my animal communication classes, the example the teacher gave me was when her sister and she and her sister decided to start hiking every single day. And about 2 weeks into the hike, she sprained her ankle and she had to be in a boot for 6 weeks and get all this physical therapy. And she goes, but also I was happy I didn't have to go for the hikes anymore. I didn't really want to do that, And that's like, it's like, we have to be honest with ourselves. Is that really, something that we want for ourselves to be able to get out of something? But I feel like the secondary gain in this case, and really for a lot of us, so I should be turning off Gemini so that we can all address this issue, is do ask yourself if you're really gunning for something like, oh, I really want that collaboration, or I really want that book deal or whatever, getting to the root reason you really want that could actually open your eyes to another way of getting there. All right. That felt like that needed to be said. All right. I love it. Let's move on to Cancers. Oops. I popped on the wrong side in there. Whoops. All right. This is going to make timestamps annoying, but we'll get to it. We'll get the timestamps going there. Hello, Cancers. What do we have for you for September? Okay. We have the Knight of Water card here. romantic, emotional, dramatic. Cancer, sometimes we get accused of that. I can say that as a sun sign. Sometimes we get accused of being a little too emotional. I've always said I'm a hopeless romantic at heart, and also just the drama of it all, right? It can come up, but we just want to watch out for that energy in September. And I'm actually getting that we may see this more with the people around us, and we're going to be able to empathize and have compassion for them because we know how it feels. The next card that I'm getting is the Queen of Fire. Awesome energy, Cancers. Awesome energy. It says confident, warm, intelligent. Yep. Stretch your wings and fly. Assert your independence. Again, this is validating what I was saying before. I feel like people are going to be seeking out your advice, Cancers. People are going to be coming to you for comfort and understanding, and you're going to be able to bring it to them, whether it's through a creative project, a blog post, a podcast, a YouTube channel. Maybe you're just speaking at some kind of event. There's something going on for you, Cancers, where people are going to seek your wisdom, and you're going to be using your natural born creativity to share and help those around you. So that's going to be really positive there too. And then finally, we have the World card. I was getting the World card so much for everybody in July. I did see it repeat a lot in August, but especially for Cancers. It says brilliant success, the freedom to go in any direction, and a journey that is now complete. So yeah, I do feel like you're completing something in the month of September to Cancers, and it's going to give you that freedom to do something different, right? So I feel like that eclipse energy for Cancers is almost helping you wrap something up, wrap up a phase, wrap up a project. Something is going to come to a completion so that now you're like, okay, I did that. Now I'm going to move on to this Queen of Wand energy and start creating something new, something that really will, help you be able to do the things you really want to do. So it's going to be letting go of the things that were kind of weighing you down because you're finishing them up. But the new thing is going to allow you to just shine with your creativity, and other people will be learning from you and benefiting from that. All right. You have to let me know what that is, Cancers. I love it. Oh, AC has a question here. Spring. Oh, deck questions. Spring, Earth Pentacles. Summer, Fire Wands. Autumn, Water Cups. And winter, Air Swords. I think you're right about that, AC. I was on a whim. My team told me to grab that deck. But I was kind of figuring it was associated with the, change of the seasons, with, Aries being the first season of the year. And it being spring, I kind of figured that was fire, like you said. I don't know if autumn was water or cups. I really don't know, but that would make sense. So yeah, we'll just go with whatever resonates with you. I would say I'll try to look it up next time, but I usually just feel whatever the energy of the card is coming up. But great question, thank you, AC. All right, I just realized I can't see the TikTok comments. Sorry, guys. All right, so moving on to, we are on the lovely Leos now. That's Virgo. Leos. All right, Leos, what's coming up for you guys? For Leos, let's see. We have the Eight of Earth. You guys have been working on some things behind the scenes. You've been adding to your skill level. You've been learning things. I feel like, you know what I'm getting? It's like sharpening your knives, sharpening your swords, sharpening your tools is what it feels like you're doing. And you're becoming really, really more focused on the things that you are important to you. Your next card is the Life Experience card. We have another Tower card coming up. Who was the first one to have it? Was it Aries, I think? Life Experience, Archangel Shamuel, a significant life event. Peaceful revelation, a powerful revelation that brings change, time to spread your wings. Yeah, I see a lot of career change coming in for Leos, especially Leo risings. And I feel like because of the things that you've been toiling away at, that's what I feel like. There's toiling hard behind the scenes, like not really out there, almost like people didn't even know what you were doing behind the scenes. Now you're coming out into the spotlight in a big way, and especially regarding your work. Now, for some of you, this could be just a creative project that people didn't even know you were working on. But I think for a lot of you, especially those of you who are still working, this is going to be some opportunity for you to use a skill in a new way at work, similar to Taurus. So you may want to listen to the Taurus messages if you have energy there, sun, moon, or rising, or planets there, but also is so similar to that energy. Okay, Taurus is. So the next card I have for you guys is the Knight of Earth card. There, Earth for Leos. I was talking about Taurus, so we've got some Earth energy coming in, organized, responsible, supportive. Yeah, so basically the guidance that I'm getting here for the Leos is use this Virgo energy now, right now at the time you're hearing this message, to start changing your routines and getting organized. So when things shift with your work, when things change and you really are getting out there and spreading your wings in a new way, you're ready, you're organized. It's kind of like going in and cleaning out your closets now, getting all your work outfits ironed and ready to go, getting, your car maintenance, getting everything, getting your computer updated and everything working really well to where everything's fine-tuned and well-oiled, Leos. Then when this big shift happens with the eclipse season, you're like, sign me up. I'm ready to go. And I feel like you're already signed up for it. So pay attention to what that is, Leos, because I feel like, this change is coming through. It's something you've been waiting for. It's not that much of a surprise. What's kind of the surprise is the way you're going to get to use your skills. It's almost like, well, I didn't even think that they would recognize that I had that ability. And people are coming to you and saying, we need you for this. You're good at this, right? Okay, Leos? So that's super exciting. Definitely let me know what's going on for you with that, Leos. All right, here we are with Virgos. Happy birthday, Virgos. We're in your birthday season here, and you get to have 2 eclipses. Let's see, the second one is going to be, it's the new moon in Virgo. So right before we move into Libra season, right? 29 degrees. So this is exciting. I hope you're already feeling that new moon energy. I hope you're planning things to celebrate all season long, Virgos. What do we have for you? We have the Ace of Water, really awesome here, right? You're getting started on a new year for you, Virgos. It says emotions, relationships, intuition. Yeah, a lot of you are going to be starting new relationships after this. Basically, things are going to be clearing away that are going to hold space for a new relationship. It may be a new boss. It may be a new colleague. It may be a new collaborative partner. It could even be a romantic partner for some of you. Maybe you have just been kind of shut off to having romance in your life, but because of these changes coming through, I mean, you've been going through it since Pisces season, Virgos. These changes coming through are giving you the opportunity for a new partner. And again, that could be in business. This could be in your health area if you're getting a fitness instructor or a new workout buddy, but it also could be romance for some of you. So stay open to that if that's something you're looking for. Then we have the Emperor card, which it's all about organization and logic. You guys are great at this. You guys are very disciplined with this, but they're saying let that quality shine, right? Don't hide it, Virgos. I feel like Virgos get a bad rap a lot of times for being so meticulous, for being penny pinchers, for being organized, for saying, hey, I can do this better, but let it shine right now, Virgos, because these are going to be the things that are attracting this new relationship, this new exciting thing. And then finally, Virgos, we have the Sun card. Yes, Sun in Virgo. You just can't make this stuff up. It's so fun to do with you guys. So we have that, this says plans that work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards and communications, and gratitude for the blessings in life. Yep, this is your time to shine, Virgos. Trust that the energy coming through with this Virgo eclipses is so positive. I know that the energy of the eclipses back in Pisces and the last eclipse season was tough on a lot of people, especially Virgos. Trust that this is your time to shine. Use all your amazing self-discipline and organizational skills. Shine. That's what you need to let the sun shine on, is the fact that you are so good at these things. And it's just going to be bringing in these new amazing things, these new partners, these new people, these new opportunities. I'm so excited for you, Virgos. You have to let me know what's going on for you. All right. Hey, Leleho, good to see you here. Okay, so we are on these Libras now. Libras, All right, we have the Dreamer card, starting something new. Of course, the sun is in your 12th house, which rules dreams right now. So what are you dreaming about, Libras? What's something you've been dreaming about? Have you been spending time daydreaming? That's important to do right now. We also have the Three of Earth card here. Very, very good. It says the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. I do feel like Libras have, you know, the energy for you guys for the last couple of years has not been easy. And I feel like a lot of it is because you're waiting to finally get that recognition you deserve. Okay. And you want to be recognized for what a team player you are. You want to be recognized for how amazing you are at seeing both sides, at bringing balance to things. You are so creative. You're good writers. You're good storytellers. You're good at seeing, you know, something that will bring balance. You tend to be the one who can come in and say, I don't think you're right. I don't think you're right. I think you're both right. That kind of a thing, right? Or both wrong sometimes in that situation. And then the final card I'm getting here is the Wheel card. The Wheel card. Yeah, I was getting that card a lot in July and August for you guys too. Delays are over. Sudden or unexpected events. Good luck. A new, what does this say? New car or travel. Are you getting a new car? Some of you may be traveling. No, but what I'm really seeing is just that recognition that you've been waiting for. It's coming for you in September, Libras. It's really time for you to be seen for all the skills you bring to the world, for the way that you can shine and share. I feel like a lot of you are going to be stepping more into your power with your ability to communicate. You're good communicators. People are going to see that, Libras, and I really want you to embrace that. Trust that it's finally bringing you that recognition you deserve. All right, that's great for Libras. All right, next we have the Scorpios. Hey, Scorpios, for September energy, we have Knight of Fire. We have the Knight of Fire here. Confident, passionate, adventurous. I love this energy coming in for you, Scorpios. Yeah, there's just something you've been really excited about. You've been seeking that new adventure. You've been working hard to build relationships, to do things differently, and you keep going. You're on your way. Let's see what's coming up for you now. We have the Balance card. Okay, interesting. It says the need for balance and moderation, cooperative and compromise, wait for perfect timing. Yeah, that does make sense coming in with this card, because this card sometimes is a little bit of an impulsive energy, right? That impulse buy, that impulse to text somebody, message somebody, ask for something, when maybe your intuition would have told you, whoa, wait, that person's not in the mood for that right now, or wait till you have this other information, then reach out, right? So let's get some clarification here. But I feel like something you've been working so hard on, you're so ready to get it out there. You're so ready to communicate something. You're so ready to share something, but you are being asked to balance your energies and wait for the right time. So what could be going on? You could be overworking yourself, and you set yourself up for starting, launching something, and then all of a sudden your body is like, wait, I need a break. Have you ever had that happen where you work really hard, you're so excited to take a vacation, you go to the vacation and you get sick because your body was so overworked when you were working. It was like, oh good, we finally have a break, let's heal our body now. And you're like, no, I wanted to be out playing and having fun. So that's kind of a little caution here, is just balance those energies of passion with other things. Always make sure you're balancing things for your health, for your relationships, and the projects and work that you're doing. And then the final card for Scorpios we have is the Chariot card, but you are moving along. This is a water energy here. Success that comes from dedication. Yeah, you've been so dedicated to where you're headed, and you are moving forward. So just trust that it's coming. It's not going to happen overnight. True success does not happen overnight. You have to kind of wait and observe for the right time. This may mean for some of you out there, I feel almost like there is an offer coming in for you to really share your talents or start a new relationship or do something different, but you don't want to focus on it to the point that you push the energy away, right? What you focus on expands, but we can also create blocks if we get really attached to an outcome. So just make sure you're thinking about those areas of your life that could be a little out of balance. So you've been so focused on something that you've been ignoring your relationships or ignoring your work projects or ignoring your health. And we want to make sure we have balance in all three of those areas. Okay. All right, great. Now moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius. We have the renewal card here, Sagittarius. It says reflection, self-evaluation, rebirth. Look at that. Wow, I feel like one of the big things that's coming through for Sagittarius is a renewed love for something you're really talented and gifted with. There's something that you really have put on the back burner to deal with other things in your life. You've been, very devoted to family. You've been devoted to work, to things that people have asked of you, to getting things done. And so the things that you've been excited about and passionate about have been put on the back burner, put to rest. Maybe you haven't even, maybe it's a hobby that you've just said, I don't even have time for this anymore. Well, you're getting a renewed sense of energy towards it and a renewed sense of, hey, I'd really like to make time for this in my schedule again. Coming up next, we have the Star card. The Star card says, happy times, make positive, optimistic changes. You're on the right path. And this is saying that, yeah, the things that you want to focus on, that you're excited about, is leading you to this Star card here. And I'm getting that for so many of you, what's really going on is that you don't even realize how talented you are with this particular thing you put on the back burner. It's something that you've either treated as a hobby or you've treated as like a side gig. And there's this opportunity for you to really be a star with it, but you keep putting everybody else's things in front of that, okay? And then the next card we have here is the Queen of Autumn. The Queen of Autumn card is generous, stylish, gracious, practical. Be practical and expect to respect, let's see, what is it? You perceive the ability to do anything and make anything beautiful. There we go. Yeah. You have this ability to take something that other people would take too far and be practical about it, right? Like let's just use the example is like maybe you are somebody who's very intuitive and you have an ability with your intuitive skills, which you are because you're here listening. So you do. I'm telling you right now, you do. But let's say you are something you're really gifted in, like astrology or numerology or Reiki. And you enjoy doing that, you love it, but you always put it behind everything else you need to do. The reason you're going to be a star when you do it is because you apply it in a practical way. You're not so far out there that people can't follow you, they can't understand you. You bring things in that help people have their aha moment. Who was it that we were talking about earlier? They said, you're going to have an aha moment. I can't remember who it was. Was it Leo's maybe? But you're going to have an aha moment. Maybe it was Taurus. And the Sages are going to be the ones creating the aha moment for other people because you're going to be the one who sees it and uses your talent and goes, here's what you need to do. And they're going to go, oh, now I get it. Okay, Sages. So use that energy, put it first. This is what's going to reignite you into doing it again. And I really feel like a lot of you have had to you kind of been forced to put some of these things on the back burner just because of circumstances, family needs, things like that, work needs. But this is a change that's coming through with the eclipses. I feel like the eclipses are almost clearing that away, making it so intolerable that you say no and you start setting boundaries, or it's just the need isn't there anymore. Okay, Sagittarius. So yeah, let me know what your new things you're doing. All right, Capricorns. Here we are for Capricorns, my rising sign. How's everybody doing? Hey, Hubert, good to see you there. Oh, you never have to apologize. I'm so grateful you're here. So here we are for the Capricorns. We have the 9 of Fire card. Very good energy here. Protection, preparedness, resilience. This is a card of not giving up. You're almost there, Capricorns. You've almost completed something that you're really passionate about, that you're really excited. So keep going, Capricorns. That's usually not an issue for you guys because you are so determined. You are so focused. But sometimes things get in the way that make you question your path, make you question if you're on the right path, should I be doing this? Should I be putting this much energy into it? Don't give up. The answer is yes, you are almost there, Capricorns. The next card coming up for Capricorns is the King of Air card. You're going to be communicating something in a very powerful way in September, Capricorns. There's something that you're going to be doing where others are going to go, wow, I never looked at it from that perspective, but since Capricorn is talking from their own experience, I'm going to follow what they did. So it's like you're sharing something you've been through, something that you've been there, done that, you're communicating about it, and others are saying, okay, now I get it. I want to learn more about that. I want to see what else Capricorn has to offer in regards to that, if that makes sense. Then the next thing coming up, hey, Janie, glad to see you here, is the Four of Spring. The Four of Spring. We have be grateful. You have much to celebrate, deep feelings of peace and happiness, a contented personal life. Yeah, so there is something, this is a card of celebration. This is a card of excitement. This is a card of, when you're almost there, you're going to complete something, and then you're going to need to celebrate big time. I want you celebrating in September, Capricorn. Celebrate the small successes, right? Are you adding a new healthy habit to your routine? Celebrate every time you complete that habit. I have a doctor I'm working with now in functional medicine, and he talks so much about celebrating when you've done a new habit. Like, let's say you're going to start taking a certain supplement, and every time you remember to take it, you celebrate that you took it, right? Or he also gives that great advice of attaching it to something you already do. Like every time you brush your teeth, you take your supplements. So you put your supplement bottle right next to your toothbrush so you remember, that kind of a thing. But then do it and then celebrate, right? And I feel like that's a message for all of us, is celebrate your small successes as much as you celebrate your big successes, but celebrate all of it. And I think that's the other thing too, Capricorns, is sometimes you get so practical that it's like, well, I completed it. What's the next thing? And well, I did that, so good for me. I need to be of use elsewhere. I need to go do this now because I was ignoring that while I was doing this. Instead of stopping and going, I can do that later. The laundry will get done. The dishes will get washed. It's okay for me to stop and celebrate. Okay, Capricorn? So let me know what you're completing in September. I definitely, as a Cap rising, have a project I'm hoping to be finished with in October, and another one that I hope to have almost finished or gotten close to. So I'll be talking more about that later as we get there. Hey, Anna. Cecilia Frodi is here. Good to see you. Another Cap rising. Welcome, welcome. All right. And now we are on to the Aquas. Aquarius, what's coming up for you guys for September energy? 10 of Earth. Look at that, Aquas. I love it. Prosperity, security, tradition. See, you are headed in a new direction towards this financial security that you seek, but it's also something that you've almost held yourself back on in a way because you've always wanted to be there for others. And what I'm getting here is all the experience that you've learned along the way from helping others, from being there for the community, from toiling away behind the scenes, similar to the way Leos and Tauruses were. Now you're finally seeing the results of this. You're seeing the security it's bringing you, Aquas. The next card I'm getting for you guys is the Page of Water card. The Page of Water card is intuitive, sensitive, artistic, friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. Yeah, I mean, you guys are so intuitive anyways, Aquas, but I do feel like you're going to be going in a new direction with the people you surround yourself with. And you're going to be really paying attention to those around you who also use their intuition, who also trust their psychic abilities. And you're going to be surrounding yourself with those people. It's almost like the Aquas are going to spend less time with the people who have no interest in the things that they love and more time with the people who do. And that doesn't mean that you're only hanging out with intuitive and psychic people. You may go join a kickboxing class and because you love it and you're surrounding yourself with people and you don't even know that there's people in that class who are also focused on using their intuition and their psychic ability. And you don't find this out till much later, but it is something that you're focusing on. And then the next card I'm getting is for you guys is the Four of Winter card. And it says, set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, the need for more sleep. Yeah, this is that card, it would be basically the Four of Swords, I would imagine, in tarot. What do you think, AC? But basically, it's like, you need to take a break from trying to figure out the solution. It's like you're worrying about it too much. You're spending too much overanalyzing, overthinking something, and you're not feeling a lot of clarity about where you're going to head, but you need to remember that you've done all this work. That's what this is saying here. You have all the skills and knowledge to create that security that you want. So this new thing you're doing, this new creative thing, this new partnership, whatever that is, you're going to want to really trust your gut and not try to do it from an intellectual thing. And I have seen a lot of Aquas do that. I have a lot of Aquarian friends who I love. You guys are so intellectual. You're so intelligent. You're so witty and good with your words that you do tend to overanalyze or overthink things, or you sometimes share from such an intellectual place that it kind of goes over everybody else's head in the room, if that makes sense. It's not a criticism, not calling you out. It's just that kind of like bringing it down to a level where people relate to you on an instinct and an intuitive level is going to help you, if that makes sense. I know that's kind of all over the map, Aquas, but I feel like you know what I mean. I feel like that's all I have to say is you know what I'm talking about. All right. And then we're moving on to the Pisces. Pisces, what do we have for you guys in September? And of course, I'll pull some action cards so we all know what action to take to get started with this energy right now. Ooh, look at that. You have the 10 of water. Love this card, Pisces. You guys are just bringing so much love into your home and family, into your relationships. Some of you are starting new relationships. Some of you are learning to really enjoy the people around you. I'm feeling for a lot of Pisces that there's new people coming into your life that normally you might shy away from. You might say, oh, I don't want to get to know that person because the last time I did that, I got my heart broken or that person let me down. Now you're actually changing the way you're looking at people coming into your life, and you're seeing it more as an opportunity for emotional nurturing versus, oh no, what's going to happen, right? So the next card I'm getting for Pisces is the Knight of Air card. Look at that. Good news coming in for you guys. I really feel that. Events occurring with great speed, intelligent, decisive, idealistic, creative solutions. Yeah, there is going to be some things coming in. I feel like you're going to get an opportunity to either travel or participate in something. Maybe you're getting invited to be part of a group. Maybe you're being invited to be part of a team. Like somebody's like, hey, we're starting a pickleball league. Want to be on our league with us? I hear pickleball everywhere, so I just use that. That doesn't mean that that's, necessarily something you're interested in, but I feel like you're going to be invited to do something. And it's almost like you're going to have to decide pretty quickly. And what you might think at first is, wait a minute. Hang on. Sorry. Let me fix that. There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm having an issue with my stream over there. Oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it. Basically, it's saying, where was I with my Knight of... Oh, I know what it was. It's coming back. Basically, you are getting this invitation or this opportunity, or like you're seeing something like this event's happening. And your first thought is, I can't do that because I already have this commitment, or I don't have anyone to feed my dog, or, that's right in the middle of, I don't know, some other thing you're doing, right? Creative solutions is what you're being asked to do. There is a way to participate in this. Just don't assume you can't do it. And then the final card you're getting is this Justice card. Yeah, you're going to have to make a decision about it. It says, take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. And it says fair and objective decisions. Yeah, just being very clear about all the information. It's almost like, it's like that energy of like somebody calls you up and is like, hey, did you see there's a concert in Tulsa this weekend? We got to go. It's our only chance to see our favorite band. And you're like, I can't go this weekend. It's my mom's birthday or something like that. And then you're like, wait a minute. What if like I went and saw mom the night before, the night after, and or what if mom came with us? Or you know what I mean? Like there's some creative solution that you may not realize. You just need to get all the information here, Pisces. And it is a lot about the people around you. So I feel like when you're asking yourself, like, what is the right decision to make here? Make the decision that leads to you surrounding yourself with people that help you feel emotionally fulfilled, right? Your loved ones, but be open to new people coming in that support your dreams and support your journey. So that's super exciting for the Pisces. I love that. Let's pull a few action cards here so we all know what to do with this energy. What are some actions we can take right now so that we can definitely, go with the flow with this energy? We've been talking a lot about using the affirmations. If you're tuning in late, I gave you 3 affirmations to use with this eclipse energy. And then also, remembering that those around you are going to be really affected by this energy if they're not paying attention the way you are. So you may be the leader in the situation. In fact, the best thing you can do is preserve time for yourself to be in quiet meditation. Carry your journal everywhere you go. Okay, everywhere you go, because this journal goes in my purse, goes with me everywhere. Even if I'm just going to the store, because you never know, you could, end up deciding to stop and get a cup of coffee, and you could sit and journal there, or you might have like a really cool synchronicity happen in the parking lot. So you get in your car and you write it down before you forget. Keep your journal with you starting right now, because if you're joining late, go back to the beginning of this video and listen to the 3 main themes of September. They're really important. If you're on TikTok, the recording of this video is on my YouTube channel at Devin Dewar. And you can go back and watch as many times as you want. I will be putting timestamps in this video later today. But yeah, it's going to be really important. You're keeping your journal by your nightstand, in your purse, your bag, your car, whatever you carry around with you, so that you can write down these big downloads. All right. They're wanting me to do it one more time. And we're going to ask, what are our 3 actions to take here? 3 actions to take right now that are going to benefit us through September and through this eclipse energy. All right, we have the 9 of Air card. The 9 of Air card. What thing is bothering you that you're ignoring? That's the message coming through. There is a pain point in your life that you're ignoring because it's not painful enough. And I'm going to give you an example of this. Just today, I went back and started physical therapy again for an old injury. I had done physical therapy on it, healed it, moving on, doing a lot better. But I ultimately had to had the pain come back. Sorry, that distracted me there. I ultimately started to have the pain come back, and it started in June, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And the last time this happened, I let it get to the point that I wasn't sleeping. And this time I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to wait till it's so bad that I have to do something about it. So the first action to take right now, all the way through this eclipse energy till October, is think about the things that they're annoying, they're painful, you don't like it, but it's not so bad that you have to deal with it. Just go ahead and deal with it. Because if you don't, probably these eclipses are going to do it for you in a more disruptive way, right? Like I said, that new moon we had this weekend had the Sun square Uranus energy in it. So go ahead, rip the Band-Aid off and deal with it now. Address that wound. It could be a wound in a relationship. It could be a wound, something to do in your house. It could be something physically. I mean, Virgo is very much about the body. So have you been ignoring something in your health? And it's time to take action on that. All right. We're going to get some more clarification here. The second thing you're being asked to do, we have the Magician. Transform that energy. It says manifestation, empowerment, preparedness. Do something about this pain point. And when I say, when you're like, well, I don't know where do I have pain in my life? Sometimes we get so overwhelmed, we feel nothing. So I'm going to ask you, if you can't pinpoint an area in your life, where is there something you feel nothing about? Like you feel numb. right? That means you're feeling too much pain and you want to do something about it. You want to transform that energy. So the 3 areas of your life that you're thinking about, of course, are your relationships, not just romantic, parent, children, boss, colleague, neighbor, sibling, aunt, uncle. Also career and finance. If you're retired, this is your legacy. This is what you want to leave behind. This is the way you're spending your retirement years. And then, of course, your health and fitness, right? Something that be going on, the example I just shared with you, this little pain that I've been having, this sciatica pain, it's not enough to stop me from exercising. It's not enough to stop me from doing the things I want to do throughout the day, but it is a pain point. And like I said, the last time I ignored it, I ended up getting in a lot of pain to where I couldn't work out and I couldn't sleep. So I'm like, I'm not letting it get to that point right now. So today I started physical therapy again today. And so I'm transforming that energy. That's what I'm doing with the magician energy. And then the final energy and action that we want to take to get started, and I will be back every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central for more updates, right? We usually do new moon and full moon. We usually do whatever big things are going on. I haven't decided on my theme for next week. Let me know if you have a topic you want me to talk about. But I will be back. But you can come back and reference this all month and make sure that you're using those affirmations and you're referring to those big themes that I talked about in the beginning of this video. We have the page of Earth. The page of Earth. It says, studious, prepared, and cheerful. So again, you're doing this in a cheerful way. You're learning what you need to learn. One of the things that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, or maybe it was during one of the signs. That's why I say listen to all 12 signs, because sometimes information comes out on a sign you wouldn't listen to, but it's meant for you. Do it in a cheerful way. Put on your favorite podcast. I'm going to have to start doing about an additional 15 to 20 minutes of stretching every day to help with this issue, right? What am I going to be doing? I'm going to be putting on one of my favorite podcasts or a great playlist or a funny TV show that I never have time to watch. I'm going to be doing something I enjoy with it. One of my favorite things to do is like be in the sunlight, be out and getting some vitamin D. So I'll be just doing different things that will make it enjoyable, but do it with this curiosity. That's the other thing is whatever you're transforming, whatever this pain point is, get curious about it, research it, learn what you can about it. Take it to a new level. My grandfather taught my father this, and therefore my father taught me. Work harder at the things you like the least, right? If there's something you really don't like doing, get to know it more. So the example, what I remember for me, I never liked history growing up. I now love history, but I didn't like it growing up because unfortunately a lot of the teachers I had initially, all they did was have you memorize dates, right? And all they seemed to do was recite dates. And it wasn't exciting for me. But when I started learning the story behind it, I was lucky my mother is a librarian, so she would introduce me to stories and she would teach me things about the history that I didn't learn in class. Then I would be so excited about it and I would work hard to learn more about it. And so ultimately, the working hard at learning about it transformed it into something I actually really loved, and it wasn't quite so painful. So you're being asked right now at the time you hear this message to address those pain points before they get to the point that you simply can't ignore them, but do it in a fun way. Like I was saying earlier, attaching it to a habit that you enjoy. When I'm doing laundry, when I'm doing any of the things that just have to get done, but they don't really necessarily, I wouldn't call them fun. I do something fun along with it. All right. And I want to encourage you all to do that. I thank you all so much for being here. I will see you next week. Don't forget, if this video resonated, please like it, share it with anybody, hit the follow, subscribe button if you haven't already, and sign up for my free newsletter at devindoer.com so you'll know about the new fun, exciting things we have coming up for all of you. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.